Hey friends, when you get old, your hair greys quickly, the body gets weaker, teeth become weak, chests sag, people get tired quickly, the glow on the face goes away, the gut system gets worse, vision gets worse, etc. All of these are signs of getting old. It used to only happen in later years, but now it doesn't. Many young people are still affected by getting old too quickly. Let's use a Buddhist story to help us understand this. Hey friends. Maharaj Buddha once went to the court of an emperor. As soon as he got there, he asked Raja, "How are the people in the village?" "I'm grateful for the lessons you've taught us," the Raja responded. "People in our town look like they are 20 years old, even though they are 60 years old. It looks like no one is getting older at all right now. Lord, no one in our state needs drugs because everyone is healthy and sleeping well. Everyone in our group is healthy and happy." Hey friends! The story today is very interesting, so please read it all the way through. This story will help you understand why old age comes so quickly. Just so you know, Buddha used to be a ruler too, but he gave up everything and became a monk. He knew exactly what we should eat and how we should spend our days because of this. Hey friends, we are going to learn about Mahatma Buddha's 12 important rules today. In other words, we will find out how to live a full life. So, I humbly ask that you please listen carefully to the whole story. After hearing these 12 things, make them a part of your life. There is no chance that you will get sick or old if you follow these lessons. Hey friends, you will remember each point better if we tell you a story about it. You can then use what you teach in real life. Let's start with the story. A long time ago, there was a king named Badar Singh in a kingdom. The king was very kind, just, and fair. He had 2 queens, both of whom were very beautiful, but also very cruel. Despite their beauty, they shared the king's religious nature. The king loved justice so much that his subjects never suffered, as he had formed a cabinet with 9 ministers. Each minister was assigned to a department responsible for ensuring the people's food supply, and different tasks were distributed among them. The king gave such strict instructions that anyone negligent in their work would be sentenced to death. Because of this, the cabinet ministers worked with great honesty, and whenever the king had to deliver justice, he did so impartially, understanding both sides deeply and making a fair decision. Because of this, the people of the kingdom were very happy, and every week the king would tour the kingdom. During these visits, all the villagers were gathered to report how much grain was in each household and whether or not there was food in every home. The king's arrangements ensured that his subjects lived prosperous lives. The kingdom ran very smoothly, and the people were satisfied. Due to this happiness, the people always praised the king. In the same way, a farmer and his wife went up to the king during a gathering and said, "Maharaj, we have a serious problem today. Please solve our problem." The king asked, "What's wrong?" The farmer replied, "I have 2 sons. They look like they are 60 years old, but they are only 26 or 28 years old. A lot of hair is falling out, they are very lazy, and their bellies are getting bigger. They're not working. We've tried a lot of drugs, but nothing has helped." That was fine with the king, who then told his officials that the farmer's sons should be treated by the royal physician, and the state treasury should pay for it. The minister did what he was told, and the doctor used money from the treasury to treat the farmer's boys. But after being treated for a long time, the farmer went back to the group and said, "Maharaj, there has been no relief. My kids are still the same." The king said, "Okay, let's think about this." While thinking about what was going on, when another pair came in, they were crying over the same thing. Over time, the problem got worse. More than half of the people came up to the king one by one, which confused him. Right away he called an emergency meeting, saying that this problem had to be fixed in the state right away. He ordered a full study to find out why the state's young people were looking old and tired before their time. The king told everyone that something had to be done right away, with everyone going from door to door to find out what's going on. All of the well-known doctors were called. There was an emergency meeting to talk about it. The king spoke to the doctors and gave them 10 days to look into the problem and find the disease that was spreading to every home, or the reason for it. The king said that whoever figured out the exact cause of this illness would get a kingdom as a prize. All the nobles got to work, going from house to house, investigating day and night for 10 days. Afterward, in a state assembly, all the royal physicians and healers gathered. The king asked each healer for their findings, but despite their efforts, none had found a solution. Then an elderly healer, around 125 to 130 years old, stood up and said, "Maharaj, based on our findings, I feel there is an issue with our lifestyle and diet, and that is why this is happening. However, we do not have a clear solution for this." The king was perplexed to hear this from the elderly healer, who was 13 years old then. The king said, "What will be the solution to this problem now? You must tell us the solution as well, because we have been living with this distress for a month. Our people have been worried for the past month, and seeing this, we too are restless. Even my hair has begun to fall out. In our family, whether it's the queens, the princes, the princesses, or anyone else, everyone is facing this issue. After all, everyone is concerned. Please tell me the solution." Then the Raj Vaidya stood up with folded hands and said to the king, "Please forgive us, but we do not have a solution for this. However, there is one person who does have the solution to all these problems. If we summon that healer, then all the issues of your kingdom will be resolved and all the illnesses will disappear forever. No one else has the solution but him." The king said, "Healer, quickly tell me. Let's not delay such an important matter. Tell me as soon as possible." "Great man, what is the name of this wise person? We will invite him to our kingdom." The healer replied, "Forgive me, Maharaj, but we do not know where he lives. He must be preaching in some state. Send your soldiers throughout the kingdom. Have them search for the state in which Mahatma Buddha is preaching. Where and when is he giving his sermon? Only he has the solution to this problem, and no one else does." The royal doctor told the king to find Mahatma Buddha right away and bring him to the kingdom with respect and honor. The king then told his most skilled minister to do this. "This is our strict order. Get as many spies as you need and quickly find out where Mahatma Buddha is speaking at the moment. He's going to come. I'm sure. Tell him that the emperor is calling by sending our word. Please let me know if he doesn't show up, and I'll go see him myself to talk about my woes." All of the ministers left right away and went in different ways. They worked hard and finally found out that Mahatma Buddha was preaching in a very faraway place. When the officials got there, they bowed to Buddha and told him, "Lord Buddha, our king has called you. Our kingdom has been hit by a terrible disease. Could you please come with us?" Due to his kindness and happiness, Mahatma Buddha always wished that all living things on earth were healthy and happy. He didn't think there was any lying. No one was tricked. No one was sad, and everyone should laugh all the time. He said, "Why don't we go right away?" as soon as he heard the soldiers. Mahatma Buddha decided to go to the kingdom with the minister, and some of his followers went with him. Mahatma Buddha was warmly received to the court by the king, showed him respect by greeting him and inviting him with honor. The king then told Mahatma Buddha, "Lord, our people are very joyful and happy today, but they have been given a heavy burden. There has been a disaster. When bad things happen to them, they happen to us too. These aren't just people, they're our family. Please get everything fixed." The king praised Mahatma Buddha. and the Mahatma was very impressed by the king's thoughts and ideas. Smiling, he said, "Why not? This is nothing. Everything will be fine. All the people have brought these problems upon themselves." Hearing this, the king smiled and said, "Sir, such a big problem, and you say it's nothing." The king then said, "All right, Guru, do whatever is necessary. Please heal our people." A disciple who was in front of Mahatma Buddha stepped forward when Buddha signaled him. The disciple said, "O Raja, give us an open space in your state where all the inhabitants can gather. A place with open air, natural sunlight, natural wind, and a golden atmosphere. Tomorrow at 4 in the morning, we will begin treating the people. But before we start, you must issue an order in your state that all the inhabitants, including yourself, must be present at that place. Starting tomorrow, a sermon will be delivered to all the people, and these teachings will continue for 12 days. During these 12 days, all your subjects will regain their health." The king was very pleased to hear this from the disciple's mouth. In just 12 days. The king said, "All right. Any expenses required will be covered by our treasury." Then the disciple said, "There will be no expenses, Maharaj. You can rest assured. Simply give a strict order to your subjects that if they do not arrive by 4 a.m., they will be punished." The king implemented this order and said, "Everyone must be there tomorrow morning." The king chose a very suitable place and said, "Tomorrow all the people must arrive at this place. We will also go and listen to the thoughts of Mahatma Buddha. We will follow everything Mahatma Buddha says, and our spies will watch over the houses. Anyone who does not follow the instructions will be punished in the assembly." After the king said this, everyone greeted him and said, "Maharaj, no, we will all be there." Everyone said hello to Mahatma Buddha and then left. The meeting for the day ended, and the next day there would be a lecture by Mahatma Buddha. Everyone got there at 4 a.m. to hear the lecture by Mahatma Buddha. After that, Mahatma Buddha pointed to one of his disciples in the crowd, who got up and spoke. "From tomorrow on, everyone in the state has to drink 2 to 3 glasses of warm water as soon as they wake up at 4 a.m. From a clay pot, you should slowly sip this warm water. Those who don't follow this advice won't feel better." This was the first speech Mahatma Buddha gave. You need to listen to this first talk. The second sermon will be given tomorrow. Everyone has to pay attention to the lecture and come to the meeting. When it was over, everyone showed up on time the next day. What did Mahatma Buddha ask someone in the crowd? What took place? How many people did that? Each person raised their hand and said, "We did what it said, and now we feel a lot better. There is no more food in our bellies. It feels good to be light, and we look very healthy." What did Mahatma Buddha then say to the disciple? "Next, I want to tell everyone that they should take a walk." How far should they walk? About 2 to 3 kilometers. Young people and kids should run during this walk. Healthy adults aged 40 to 50 should walk quickly, with 1 step every second or 60 steps per minute. For those who can run, they shouldn't go too fast. Instead, they should run as far as they can, which could be 2 to 3 kilometers. That was the second day's speech. The meeting resumed the next day, and Mahatma Buddha again asked, "What did everyone do during the first 2 days?" Everyone present raised their hands in agreement. The disciple asked, "How do you feel now?" They responded, "Guru, we have no illness. It feels like we are completely healthy again." The disciple said, "Now everyone must do yoga and pranayama according to their ability. This includes pranayama like Anulom Vilom." He explained how to do Anulom Vilom and how to do Surya Pranayama. The disciple told everyone they should practice these exercises daily for at least 30 to 45 minutes. That meeting also ended, and the next day another gathering was held where all the people were present. After the meeting, everyone was asked about their routine and who had followed the instructions. They all responded. Now, we feel as though there is no illness. We don't need an alarm. Our eyes automatically open at 4:00 a.m. Hearing this, the king was very pleased, amazed that his people were healing without the need for money. The king immediately rejoiced and told Mahatma Buddha, "Greet him and ask him to stay in our kingdom. Lord, don't leave from here." Mahatma Buddha smiled, as his way was always to maintain a joyful attitude and not to worry. He then said, "Now that everyone knows about prana yoga, the next step is that everyone should eat 300 grams of sev. You can eat more but not less. After that, everyone can continue with their work." That day's meeting concluded and was dismissed. The next day, everyone got together and was asked, "Who felt so much better?" Everyone who answered said they were fully better. It was said again by the student, "You still need to follow half of the rule. You will not get sick if you follow the whole rule. Old age will go away, and it won't even come close to you. Your manly strength will stay the same, just like our Mahatma Buddha's, and your face will still shine." The disciple then talked about the next lecture. "Pay close attention. You have to eat sev from tomorrow until 7 or 8 a.m. After 2 hours, you can eat any food you want, just like every day. But everyone has to eat roti after they eat. A multi-grain roti is one that is made with a mix of different grains. It can't have wheat in it because wheat is bad. It should have millet, corn, and beans instead. These 3 things should be used by everyone to make roti. There should also be a bowl of lentils, homemade ghee, and a bowl of mixed veggies that match the season on the plate. Off-season veggies should be kept in the warehouse to keep them fresh longer. Seasonal vegetables are good to eat. Last, everyone should drink a bowl of yogurt 30 minutes after they eat. On top of that, if you eat this, add jaggery to the yogurt 30 minutes after eating it. This will help your body break down food much better." In the end, the student said, it was over for the day and everyone should come the next day for Sunday service. Following what was said in the lecture, everyone went happily to their homes after following these steps. The meeting took place the next day and everyone was there. They were asked, "Who felt so much better?" What the people did. "Lord, we are not sick. We're fully better now. It looks like we were never sick." The king was very happy and said, "It has healed everyone to eat this way. It looks like everyone has been getting better on their own over time." Then the disciple said, "There is still more. Listen carefully. First of all, you must keep in mind that you should not eat and drink at the same time. If you have difficulty swallowing the food, take small sips of water. You can drink water between meals, but you must not drink large amounts of water at once. You can drink all the water you want, but only after 1 hour of eating. As everyone has eaten by 10 or 11 in the morning, you will probably feel hungry again by 4 or 5 in the afternoon. At that time, everyone must eat a plate of salad, and each person must eat the salad according to their weight. For example, if someone weighs 50 kilo, they should eat the salad in proportion to their weight. If someone weighs 60 kilo, they should eat 300 gram. If they weigh 70 kilo, also 300 gram. And if someone weighs 80 kilo, they should eat 400 gram of salad. The salad should contain carrots, beets, radishes, tomatoes, and a piece of ginger. Additionally, 3 or 4 cloves of garlic should be added for flavor. Black salt or roasted cumin can be added if desired. You must not eat anything before consuming the salad. Follow these instructions and return the next day. That meeting also ended, and everyone went back to their homes, following the given rules. The next day at 4 p.m., they were asked how they felt and how their bodies were. Everyone had smiles on their faces, and their faces shone like light. It seemed as if their declining age had come to an end. The king was overjoyed and filled with gratitude. He knelt before Mahatma Buddha and said, "Blessed be you, Lord. You have healed everyone just with food." The king added, "Maharaj, wait, there's still much to teach. When you've finished explaining the entire sermon, like our Lord, there will be no diseases, and no one in our kingdom will ever age." As the teacher was asked to speak quickly, the king said, "Tell us everything we need to know. At this point, I don't feel sick at all. I feel like I'm 16 again. At night, I'll tell you what to do. It is important for everyone to eat dinner before the sun goes down, because food digests more slowly when it's exposed to light. As the amount of sunlight drops, digestion stops. Early wise people like Asim Muni used to eat an hour before the sun went down. Going to bed early has 2 perks. First, our bodies start breaking down food while we're awake. After 3 or 4 hours of sleep, metabolism is almost done. This will help you sleep well. You won't be able to sleep well, and your life will be bad if you eat late. Your digestion will not be full. So make sure you eat light foods for dinner an hour before the sun goes down. Pick roti with multiple grains and seasonal veggies, but only eat what you need to, like you haven't eaten much. After an hour, mix 3 grams of turmeric with a glass of milk and drink it. You can't buy turmeric at the store. You have to make it yourself. You should do nothing but sleep for a few hours before bed, and you should go to sleep before 10 p.m. It's best to go to sleep at 10 hours because that's when all of your food will have broken down. If you get enough sleep, you'll wake up at 4:25 a.m. without any trouble, and you won't be sick. To sum up, pay close attention. Everyone needs to live in the present. Act like a kid. A little kid doesn't care if their mom is fighting with the neighbor or if there's food in the house. They just eat what they have on hand and keep playing until they're full. Same thing. Don't think about the past or the future. Just live in the moment. Don't worry about what you have now or what will happen in the future. Don't think about the past too much. Be content with what you have. Being in the present moment takes away stress and problems, which keeps you from getting sick. Don't forget to follow these rules and never eat food from outside. Because food from outside is often tampered with, make all of your food at home. If you do everything these rules say, you will never age or get sick. To keep things fair, everyone must follow the same rules. In a month, we'll all get together here. So the days went by. Mahatma Buddha came back to the group after a month. The king ran out to meet him and politely asked him to come to his royal court. "Guru, you are welcome in our land." The king told them, "This is also your home." Mahatma Buddha asked with a smile, "King, tell me, how are you all? How are the people you study?" The king answered, "Lord, the lessons you taught us have made everyone very happy. People who looked 60 years old before now look 21. People are resting and don't need any medicine because they are no longer getting older. Every single one of them is healthy and happy." Dear friends, what did you think of the 12 health lessons that Mahatma Buddha taught? Will you use them in real life? Please tell us what you think in the area below, and don't forget to click like. Tell your friends and family about this video, and if you subscribe, make sure you turn on alarms so you don't miss any of our new lessons. Thank you all for always being there for me. It makes me want to keep teaching these things, and your participation and attention are what keep me making useful content. Thank you so much for always being there for me, and I hope your trip is filled with peace and happiness. Until then, my dear friends.